Hey everybody, I'm System Tech 66. I hope you're having a great week. And this is going to be a short video, but recently Capcom have received a claim against them having used this particular artist's work from 1996 onwards in multiple Resident Evil games as well as Devil May Cry. Mostly regarding the gothic architecture and stuff within the locations within those games. And I've got to be honest with you, I've had an alright rapport with Capcom over the years, but it's soured recently because I uploaded that video, got a ton of views, and they struck my channel. And I did try to remove the strike and try to sort it out. They didn't want to know about it. Because they said that it was, using footage and stuff from Resident Evil Village and it's their IP and that's essentially copyright. Well, guess what? For years and years and years, some artist within Capcom has been stealing this woman's pictures and photos and art and then putting it in these games. And so now they're facing court over it, and they're also looking to be paying out a sum of 12 million. Sorry, Capcom, but that's instant karma. That's instant karma. I'm really sorry, but you've gone on a tirade over the last couple of months. You have released games that are barely finished or, just really shit on fans after Resident Evil 7, the RE2 remake. And we've dropped the dollar on them. We've dropped the pounds on these games and they've turned out to be crap and just half-eyed. And I can tell that. Some other people might disagree, but that's me personally. After being a massive fan of Capcom's games and stuff over the years. I'm a fan of both Devil May Cry and obviously the Resident Evil series, as you've come to know if you've, seen my videos and my previous videos and you know me as a YouTuber. The fact that they're facing a 12 million lawsuit for using this artist's photos without her permission, and then complaining and striking channels for using footage from their games or trailer footage or whatever it be, or a couple of photos that are available on Google. That's what they got me for, apparently. Didn't use any footage. I used the photos that are readily available on Google that were leaked photos. So I don't know how they have any grounds to stand on cancelling my video and also striking the channel. Anyway, moving away from me, they've been doing it to tons of channels and people trying to sort of build hype for the game and talk about it. And they've done it to loads of channels, not just mine. And I'm afraid to say this is instant karma. This is what it looks like, people. This is what instant karma looks like in a big way. So, I'm reading from Nintendo Life. If Capcom hadn't already suffered enough from last November's data leak, it's pretty shitty, it's now facing a 12 million lawsuit. Designer Judy A. Jurek took action on Friday in a Connecticut court within the United States, alleging Capcom used copyrighted photos from her 1996 book Surfaces without her permission. Her work contains a collection of more than 1,200 texture photographs intended for visual research. It also comes with a CD-ROM of all the images, which commercial companies must license in order to use. Okay, that's like when I use samples in music that I make. They're royalty free, and they're stated as royalty free. If they're not royalty free, then you have to essentially make that track a bootleg. You cannot release it without the artist's permission or the company that have released that song without their permission. So I know a little bit about that. Now, Capcom are well within their rights when looking at leaked footage and trailer content and all the rest of it, because it's their footage, it's their IP, and essentially you are using copyrighted footage and stuff, okay? But at the same time, this woman's well within her rights to take your ass to court as well, Capcom, and sue you for the sum of 12 million. So at this point, you should be able to see where this is going. Jurassic claims Capcom didn't take this important step, and apparently over 200 of her images have been purposed. 200 of her images, that's a lot. Have been repurposed across various video games. The lawsuit shows over 80 of these, covering series like Resident Evil and Devil May Cry. And if you go and look, you'll be able to see them. I'm not going to... Well, hopefully I'll put some of them up here. But essentially, it's got the Resident Evil 4 logo. Within that, there's like this sort of glass that's cracked, or this weird sort of effect and this image, and they definitely used that. I've seen ones that basically there's like this this image that you can see side to side, that they used for one of the railings in the mansion in the Resident Evil remake. So yeah, they definitely used them. There's no argument with this. In addition to this, there's a claim that one of the images found within Capcom's data breach had the same file name as one from the Surface's CD. So they're continuously using them. It's quite funny. They won't be after this. Jurassic's legal reps are asking for 12 million in damages for copyright infringement and 2,500. Or sorry, my bad. It's 25,000 for each photograph used. The lawsuit also references various allegations made by a filmmaker in April who accused Capcom of plagiarizing monster designs in Resident Evil Village. It basically says you can read more about Capcom's data leak in previous posts. So go to Nintendo Live if you want to find out more. Wow. Just all these big companies getting all stuck up and, and pissy and up themselves about using, footage and copyrighted sort of material from games we've bought or films that we've bought and loved over the years, and we just want to show our love and appreciation for it. And this is essentially where it all leads. Yeah, it's basically like if you can't take it, don't dish it out. And unfortunately, Capcom, she's well within her rights. Maybe 12 million's a little too much, a little too steep, but maybe 2-3 million. But she's well within her rights to take you to court. And it seems like you have been plagiarising her work, definitely. And now you've got this filmmaker as well saying that the monster designs were borrowed from one of his works. Quite funny. It's just quite funny. I don't get any real sense of enjoyment. This doesn't, at the fact that they fucked up. I don't it doesn't affect my life in any way, and I'm not a person that's like, ha, told you so, and good, you get what you're given. But at the same time, I just think it's quite hilarious. That's the thing. It is quite funny, and I'm sorry the way you've gone on, or the way they've gone on at the moment. Yeah, that's karma. That's instant karma, bitch. That's it. It's kicked you in the nuts. It sucks, man. It really sucks for Capcom and Resident Evil, the brand and everything, and how it's sort of that's going downhill, and they can't seem to not fuck up at the moment, or have data breaches, or do you know what I mean? So it's a shame. It's a real shame. I know that it's obviously some sort of artist that's seen it and they've taken it and put it within the games. I was watching the Angry Joe show, and I think Alex said something along the lines of, obviously it's not some mustache twiddling villain that Capcom aren't running around and stealing these works knowingly in that way. But it's definitely someone within their team or who was developing the games with them that's taken these. That's 200 images is a lot. Now what's happened is, yes, they are available on a CD-ROM, and you can use them, but you have to get permission from her, you see. And that's what I was saying earlier. If you use samples and stuff, if I went to make a remix of a well-known track, say Superstitious, yeah, by, is it Stevie Wonder? Yeah, I would have to go and ask Stevie Wonder and the company, yeah, say it was Geffen Records that released that, and say, can I use your works in my song, and can I make money off of it? If I didn't get the permission, I'd have to put it up as a bootleg, so for free, so people can just take it. And one of the issues I've had recently is Capcom seem to say, well, with your latest video, we've struck your channel and we've pulled it down, it's unavailable, because you cover leaks, but I'm allowed to talk about that. I'm allowed to cover leaks with just my voice. I could just have the screen completely black with just my voice, and I'm perfectly within my rights to do that. You cannot control a person in that way. But where they found the legal loophole, or they think so anyway, is that I used images. But unfortunately, what they don't understand, and what I've written in my defense, is they're readily available on Google. They're out they're out for the public to see, for all to see. You can go and search them on Google. So, seeing as they're allowed on Google, why the hell is it any different in my video? But I thought I'd let you guys know about this. Yeah, it's just a shame. I wish Do you know what I really want at the end of all this? I really want Capcom to get back to who they were before. Yeah, and although saying that though, this is years and years of them stealing these images and this art, and this director's works as well, and his enemy designs. But even so, I want them to go through this, learn from it, and then just get back on form, Capcom. That's what I want from this. I want it to be a lesson to you, and you just sort of like know that you can't screw people over. Yeah, and treat them like shit, and treat this fan base that's built you up as a company like shit. And maybe this is what you need in order to make you realise that, you know, a kick up the arse. So yeah, it's not a I told you so and all the rest of it. I'm not that sort of person. But what I will say is that is a perfect example of instant karma. That's karma. No matter how and how you want to look at it. That's instant karma. So it is what it is. I don't feel sorry for them in the slightest. I will say that. I don't feel sorry for Capcom. Sorry. You know, I had a video that got a couple thousand views talking about Resident Evil Village before it was coming out. Gave my honest opinions and stuff. And yeah, you guys just one strike, boom, took it down. So yeah, I don't feel sorry for you. Don't have any sympathy. And I do hope that I don't know how you could get yourselves back on track and sort of to who you were as a company, you know, in the 90s and the early 2000s. But I would like this to maybe shape you and shape you into something that's like that in the future. So, you know, it is what it is. She's definitely going to win the case, and she's definitely going to take him to the cleaners, so to speak. Not for everything they're worth, but she's definitely going to take him to the cleaners, and she's definitely got evidence and every right to ask for that money. I don't know who she is or who she knows or how big of a person she is, but apparently in one article I did read that she said there's no way that they would have been able to go to the places I've been to and taking these images and stuff, yeah, like, and then use it in their works. So it seems like some of these places are only available to her and certain types of people. I don't know who she is, other than, you know, she is an artist as well, but she must have links, you know, to people within the government or within whatever it is, yeah, whatever these places are, and she's been able to take those pictures. So there's no actual way that they could have gone to these places and took those pictures and then used it in their works. It's come from the CD-ROM. They took the pictures, and it probably states you need to ask permission to use them, and they haven't done that. So they were trying to just, you know, take them without paying, and that should tell you everything. Back in the day with the old Resident Evil games and Street Fighter and all the rest of it, Capcom, you know, they earned a tidy sum, but they did things still a little bit on the cheap because they were building these franchises up, you see, from the very bottom, and it was us that built them up and gave them the money and, you know, and backed series like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Street Fighter, all the rest of it. So yeah, no sympathy here, but I hope that this can shape them in the future, you know, to be a company that they sort of used to be, or resemble a company they used to be. So yeah, that's it for now. Check out my video that's going to come up after this one, which is basically Ghostbusters Remastered, and I recently was able to buy it. It's been ages since I made my last video why you should, you know, buy Ghostbusters Remastered. So I give my thoughts on that, and yeah, it was a really fun experience and stuff. But it's just recently that I bought that along with Vanquish and Bayonetta, the Vanquish and Bayonetta PS4 bundle. So sweet. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave me a like. It helps me get seen, it helps my SEO. Subscribe to the channel if you like me as a content creator, because I'm always gonna, you know, try and up myself and up the ante when it comes to my my videos. And until next time, I've been System Check 66. Have a good rest of your day, and I'm out of here. Peace.